And this is kind of how I view business, is more so you can't work. I feel like, especially inside an online business, you need to make your team feel like welcome, and you need to make your team feel part of something. Like, I think there are too many people in the online space that, because they don't treat their team members like humans, they don't realize that, like, you know, all your team are the ones actually doing a lot of the work, and you need to respect them and treat them, you know, like that. So I like to try and do as much as we can inside the company to make the team feel like they're working together, they're working as one, because, you know, they are. Just little things like that throughout the day just make kind of everyone tune in and realize that, oh, actually we're part of something much bigger. Like, whenever we get a new client inside Club Closer, the whole team celebrates it. So with a voice note,
crushing it. Let's go, boys.
But then you got Seb here. Gets his mum and
Coming to me 24 hours. I can't go sleep. I know the power of a dollar, told 50 rounds at least. She know I get money, she know.
YouTube video film. Team called a couple times. Both teams called actually a couple times, so just dealing with some small issues. But bro, whenever I turn this camera on, I just don't know how to talk or what to say. Even with scripted YouTube videos, a lot of the content I put out there is scripted, because when I'm left to my own devices and the thoughts in my head, I can articulate myself well in conversations, but in front of a camera when there's this little box looking thing and it's not human, I really struggle. So I always script my videos to help just like keep on track and know where I'm going, but it's something I want to get better at, and I've started to stop scripting as much. So I'd like to think by filming more of these videos, I'm going to get better and better at it. And it's the same as like any skill, anything you do, like the first time you put stuff out there, it's so bad. And if I go back and watch some of my older YouTube videos, I'm a bit embarrassed by them, to be honest, but I guess it just comes with time. So I'm hoping the more I get used to talking to this camera, the better I can get at articulating myself. On Wednesdays, I don't have any like pre-planned calls with the team. It's the only day of the week where we don't have any calls. And that's because I kind of use Wednesdays as a pretty good benchmark for the week. And I kind of see how far I've got through, you know, the things I've set myself. And I can use it to catch up on anything. So Wednesdays is normally when I film YouTube videos, try and get ahead on that front. Next week, or week after next week, we've got a team trip where we're flying all 10 team members of Club Closer out to... where are we going? Girona, Avila in Girona, which is in Spain. And then we're doing a dinner with all the CC Club Closer members that wanted to come. We honestly thought it was going to be like 10. It's like 40 of them coming, which is really exciting. So just planning for that. Golf for me is one of the few things where when I'm doing it, I can't focus on anything else. And I think it's because it requires so much concentration, and it's using, you know, you're moving your body, although not like strenuously. You still happen to be like locked in with your movement, but also locked in with your mind. And I really struggle to take my brain away from work, or just like overthinking things or overanalyzing things. So golf is like, all right, when I'm fully locked in on that, I can't physically focus on anything else.
I love it though.
This is rather embarrassing, but I'm back in the car going to play golf again. Don't normally play twice in a week, but I had a lesson that I booked onto about a month ago, so I'm going to that. This morning, just been on calls, catching up with the team, just making sure everything's on track. We are on track to hit a record month again this month, which is really exciting. And, you know, given we've got the event and everything coming up, we're sort of making sure we're on track with that, knowing, you know, what the team should do, what I need to do during that time, and obviously just excited to get 40 of the guys inside one room, really. One thing I've been trying to do lately is just delegate more. So, right, London traffic is chaos. Yeah, it's just delegate more. I've been bad with just doing like every single admin task under the sun for Club Closer, and pretty much both businesses really. And as time's gone on, I sort of found myself working like hard but not smart. where I was just busy for the sake of being busy, doing things that, you know, I could definitely delegate and assign to different people. So one of the biggest hires we made last month with Club Closer was an operations manager. So we have a full-time operations guy that pretty much does all the tasks I basically don't want to do or can delegate. And that's really helped me allow for more free time. And given that like the company now is doing really well, and you know, we work super hard to get the VSL up and running, and this is kind of how I view business, right? Is like, and this is kind of how I view business is more so, you can't work hard 24/7, and you won't always know what to work on. So Club Closer's grown in stages, right? And I use that as the most obvious example because it's the company I'm, you know, really heavily focused on scaling right now. And it's like, I needed to work hard to get it to say 50k a month, and then from 50k to 100k there needs to be certain changes. The biggest thing was growing the team and making sure the team knew what they were doing, and spending all my time managing them, making sure also the systems, we needed the systems in place so that the team could grow. So it was really systems and team to get from 50 to 100, and then now kind of pushing past 100 onto 200, $250,000, $500,000. It's going to be more so the ads, and that's what we've been focusing on lately. We spent so much time the last couple months building out this whole VSL funnel, email marketing, and really dialing it in. And now that that's kind of set up and working, and we can see it hasn't even been running a month and it's profitable, which is sick. But now that that's working, it's like, all right, instead of like tweaking and fiddling with things the whole time, I just need to let it do its thing. Let the ads guys that we've hired scale it and just see where it breaks. And then when it starts to break, then it's like, okay, what is broken, what needs fixing, and how can I go about and fix it? So for now, if I'm honest, I'm not working as hard as potentially I was last month, but it's like, well, what do I work on? Do I just work for the sake of working, or do I just take this time to sort of evaluate the business, evaluate where we're at, and look at all the different moving parts and see what needs to work on? And don't get me wrong, like, it's not perfect. There was a lot of things that need fixing and a lot of things I want to improve. Like, we're going to overhaul the whole product next year or end of this year. So, but that's things I know is coming. I don't need to like dedicate all my time on it now. But it's interesting. Normally talks about this, I don't think. Normally talks about how like, yeah, there's going to be days where things are just going well, and you know, there's definitely a switch. I don't know what level it's at, if I'm honest. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but for me, it's like the last couple months I've realized like, okay, it's now not about working hard, it's about working smart. So the biggest needle moving things I can do in the business, it's not actually the work itself, it's the decision making, and it's making those decisions that lead to the work getting done that's no longer by me in order to get the result, if that makes sense. So really my main job is just decision making now, for the time being anyway.
I'll